Alright, this is Synoptic and I'm doing a commentary video for Empire Total War multiplayer. I play as the United Provinces and my opponent plays as the Ottoman Empire. The map is Ceylon and it is early period. So I skipped out the start where we essentially just circled each other. I started out down here and my opponent up this hill. In the battle I just started when the first shot to me. And that killed a fair few men. We'll go through my army first. I have 9 light infantry, 5 light infantry, 5 regiment of horse, and a general. My opponent has 5 Israelis, 2 grenadiers, 2 howitzers, 6 Delhi horsemen, 2 Samart janissaries who are melee men, and 2 Azars who are light infantry. 2 of my regiment of horse are in the woods hidden, and I'll use them when I need them. And he's going to fire 2 volleys before I even begin my assault with light infantry. So he's killed about 80 to 100 men now. And I'm moving my regiment of horse, my remaining regiment, to my right flank. And he'll react quite quickly and reinforce them with 2 Delhi horsemen to cover the flank. So at this point, shots have been made. Now it isn't too long before my opponent starts charging my left because he's got an overwhelming force. But for now I'm going to retreat my light infantry to actually begin the fight. Now I'm sending my light infantry to meet his. Now I'm going to take advantage over the placement of these Delhi horsemen. He's covering this flank just fine. Unfortunately for him, his entire right side is open for me to shoot, and I'm going to go against them with 2 light infantry. I'm moving in right now. And so now we've seen the movement of his right side, and if I don't do anything I'm going to have my entire left collapse. And I've moved 2 regiments of horse to distract. I've moved a bit too close, and I'll lose maybe 15 or so from the horsemen's shots. While that's happening, I'm sending a regiment of horse to attack this unit here, who have sustained quite a number of losses. Now while that's happening, I'm also going to conduct an attack against his light infantry, his Azars, who have no distinct protection. I mean, he didn't see these regiment of horse, so he could have adapted to it. So while I'm attacking them, he's moving his Samart janissaries to my open left. But he hasn't done anything yet because I'm causing too much trouble. That Delhi horseman is now routing, the one which I shot at with my light infantry. But before I start assaulting the next one, he'll charge me. So I'm going to send my regiment of horse to assist them. That Israeli unit there that I charged with my regiment of horse have all routed, and so have this one from gunfire. So his center and his right of his main body have routed. Now those units of Azars have now routed from that sneak attack I made. And he still hasn't done anything with these Samart janissaries, so I've ordered my reserves. I had 4 units in reserve to use whenever I felt, to shoot into his side. I also had a light infantry there to help him out. Now my opponent has decided to shoot me as opposed to charge me, so I'll have the opportunity to shoot back. It would have been much better off to charge because my light infantry are far more accurate. So we can see there that there were a lot of attacks made. Within the last minute or so I destroyed half his army, which was in my opinion the death blow. Now this whole time my opponent is firing artillery on me. I'm still within his range, just. That's something my opponent does quite well, is get me back. Now he finally charged my firing light infantry, but I've also reinforced them, and now he's going to charge the other unit with his other reinforcement. So we're seeing a complete collapse of his main body. I got my regiment of horse from the Azar attack, taking on his right. But I sent a regiment of horse further up to attack stragglers, who got intercepted by 2 Delhi horsemen. I didn't really mind as long as those Delhi horsemen were occupied. Now he's finally used those Samart Janissaries to charge into a single unit of line infantry, but almost instantly I ordered my general to do a hammer and anvil, and that ultimately smashed these Janissaries. So at this point there's not much left of my enemy. I had a pretty full focus attack on his right and left, as well as center. Okay, so now we're seeing the movement of his Delhi horsemen, who have clicked on my regiment of horse. So here I'll be doing my favourite thing, which is bait, and they're going to follow him, I'm almost certain. Yes, which is a complete waste of time. So now that those Delhi horsemen are temporarily out of the game, I can move my men up. So slowly I'll edge my way towards this artillery and finally destroy him. A lot of these units will come back, unfortunately. Some of these Israelis have routed with still a large number. Here there's 66 out of 160. I'm going to try and chase them down, but again I'm being followed. And here's the collapse of those Samart Janissaries. They didn't really pose much of a threat. It was obvious what he was trying to do. He was trying to hit my rear with them, but I used my reserves to block him, so he had no chance in achieving that. So this battle drags on a bit quite from here on for about 5 minutes, so I'll have to cut it out. It's just me going up here and destroying this artillery. Okay, I've cut it, and all that's left is a general, 2 Delhi horsemen, and his rally unit. So I destroyed the artillery. Quite boring, but yeah, you could see that the battle was over about halfway in when I started my attacks. So now I'm going into a stretched line, fire a single volley, affix bayonets, and charge. But there's no real point, since he'll lose his general just before I get to him, and he'll rout. He's already wavering from that massive shot. General down, and away they go. That's all that's left of these Delhi horsemen. Alright, and that's game. I lost 1,230, killed 1,454. He lost 1,563 and killed 914. Now a major part of my losses would be a part of his artillery, from his artillery. You can see just repeatedly he had about 7 or so volleys throughout the game, all of which my men were in range. I mean, even from the start he killed about 80. So that was one thing I just had to move on about. The main reason why I won, I'll say it again, is the multi-pronged attack. I mean, you could see from the look of his army that it was designed to crack enemy lines. He had melee and grenadiers. So I had 4 reserve, which kind of eliminated any rear attack and provided reinforcement. So he didn't really have that opportunity to destroy my lines. Not to mention, the second he started moving, I launched attacks. I didn't really want him to do anything without me disrupting him. So giving him a lot of work to do, and ruining his plans gave me the edge. So yeah,